Okay, let's just dive straight in. When you think about huge collapses in sports, maybe it's the fourth quarter, maybe it's, the last few innings, but what we saw from Team USA at the 45th Ryder Cup, wow. It wasn't just a collapse, was it? It felt like something more fundamental.
Oh, absolutely. It was a complete strategic breakdown. And honestly, it's all captured in one pretty shocking number.
Which is?
Scottie Scheffler. World number one. He actually became the first American player ever to play in all 4 team sessions and lose every single one.
0 for 4.
0 for 4 in team play. And that stat, it perfectly sums up how Europe built that monster 7-point lead. They basically had it won before Sunday even started.
Welcome to Court and Gridiron Report.
Join us as we really get into the latest headlines, breaking down the plays, the strategies, the big stories shaping sports. We look at everything from buzzer beaters to touchdowns. And today, we're taking that court and gridiron approach and pointing it squarely at maybe the ultimate strategic battlefield, the 45th Ryder Cup. It was like a siege on American turf, and it really exposed some cracks in the U.S. setup.
Yeah, we're going to unpack exactly how Europe constructed that fortress over Friday and Saturday. But definitely stick around, because we're also going to pinpoint the exact putt, just 6 feet long, on Sunday afternoon that finally, brutally stopped that incredible American comeback.
They came so close, scary close to the biggest comeback ever.
So to get why it went wrong for the U.S., you first need the setting. Bethpage Black, Farmingdale, New York. People call it the People's Country Club. It's public.
Yeah.
But man, is it tough.
Oh, legendary toughness. Almost hostile, really.
I mean, there's literally a sign near the first tee, right? Warning players. Extremely difficult. Recommended only for highly skilled golfers. That sets a tone.
It certainly does. And the design, Tillinghast, originally dated by Reese Jones, it's what we call penal golf.
Penal golf.
Yeah.
Explain that for us.
It means mistakes get punished hard. You've got these huge elevation changes, like 60-foot drops sometimes. The rough is just nasty thick. And the bunkers, they're not just flat sand traps. They're carved deep into the hills. Miss your spot, and you are paying a heavy price. An accuracy tax, basically.
Okay, so choosing Bethpage, that was a deliberate move by the PGA, wasn't it? Strategy.
2 parts to it, really. First, use that famously loud, intense New York crowd. Get them roaring, be the 13th man for the U.S.
Right.
And second, pick a course, a brutal layout that they thought would favor the American style, hit it long.
Did it? Because looking back, that seems like where the gamble went wrong.
I think it backfired, yeah. Especially with the course architecture. The U.S. team is often built on, let's call it bomb and gouge, a power distance. But Bethpage, it kind of neutralized that. Like, take hole 4, it's a par 5. There's this huge bunker area, the Great Hazard, right where a long hitter would want to land their drive.
So if you tried to bomb it.
You couldn't. Or it was incredibly risky. So guys were hitting 3 woods, even irons off the tee. It suddenly becomes about precision, not power. And that played right into European hands.
Interesting. Okay, so that's the course. What about the pressure? Winning away from home is always tough.
Hugely tough. This would only have been Europe's 5th win in the U.S. since the modern era really kicked off after the miracle at Medina in 2012. It's rare.
And the scoring adds another layer, right? Europe just needed 14 points to keep the cup because they won last time.
Exactly. They retain it with a tie. The U.S. needed 14.5 to win it back outright, that half point. It hung over everything on Sunday, became absolutely crucial.
Okay, so you've got the course, the pressure, and then the captains. A big contrast there.
Fascinating contrast, yeah. For Europe, you had Luke Donald. Very calm, very meticulous. And crucially, he brought back 11 of the 12 guys from the winning team in Rome. Continuity. He used these established pods, little groups of players who practiced together, knew each other's games inside out for the team formats.
And for the U.S.
Keegan Bradley, fiery, passionate, wears his heart on his sleeve. But a rookie captain in this cauldron, he had superstars like Scheffler, Schoffel, but also 4 rookies.
So the big question was, could that raw American talent, that individual brilliance, overcome Europe's system, their teamwork?
And we got the answer pretty much straight away on Friday morning. And it was a hard no. Europe's dominance was built in those team sessions, foursomes, 4 balls. That's where the cohesion, the system really shines. They grabbed a 3-1 lead right out of the gate in the morning foursomes.
Maybe quickly explain foursomes, because it's such a pure test of partnership.
Right. It's alternate shot. You hit the tee shot, your partner hits the next one back and forth until it's in the hole. You absolutely have to trust your partner. One bad shot puts them in a terrible spot.
And Europe's pairs were just dialed in.
Devastatingly effective is the term our sources used. Rahm and Hatton beat DeChambeau and Thomas pretty comfortably, 4-3. McIlroy and Fleetwood Mac, they just demolished Morikawa and English 5-4. Total control.
But the real shocker, Friday morning.
Had to be the rookie, Ludwig Umberg, playing with Matt Fitzpatrick. They took down the world number one, Scheffler and Russell Henley, 5-3. Just dismantled them.
Wow, that must have sent ripples through the U.S. team room and set the stage for Scheffler's weekend.
It really did. And by the end of Saturday, that strategic gap had become a chasm. Europe was up 11.5 to 4.5.
A 7-point lead.
Yeah.
Earned entirely in team play.
Completely. And historically dominant. Get this. Europe became the first team in 98 years of the Ryder Cup to sweep the first 3 sessions playing away from home.
Unbelievable. And you could feel it, couldn't you? Reports of American fans leaving early on Saturday.
Yeah, thousands apparently. Paid all that money, expected a home win, and they were just seeing their team get systematically taken apart. They voted with their feet.
So let's zoom in on that American collapse. Scheffler's 0-4 is the headline, but what about the captaincy? Bradley's choices.
Well, look at Scheffler again. While it was, historically bad for him personally, you have to ask about the partnerships. Bradley paired him with Henley, then Spahn, then DeChambeau, across 4 losses.
So constantly changing partners.
Exactly. He was trying to find something, a spark maybe, but it just highlighted a lack of, synergy. And in alternate shot, that's fatal. Donald, meanwhile, he stuck with his pairings, his pods, build on chemistry they already had. It really felt like Europe's system beating America's collection of stars.
Okay, so Saturday night, it looks completely over. Europe needs just 2.5 more points from 12 singles matches. The U.S., they need a miracle.
An impossible task, essentially. They needed 8.5 points just to tie and keep the cup, 9 points to win it outright. The biggest ever comeback on Sunday was 4 points. They needed to double that, basically.
But then Sunday dawns, and suddenly it's different. Singles matches, man against man.
Yeah, liberated from the team formats, right? This is what they do week in, week out on the PGA Tour, individual combat, and the Americans just came out firing.
The leaderboard started turning red. Fast.
It really did. Europe must have started feeling the heat. The charge started with a rookie, actually. Cameron Young, the New Yorker. Huge crowd support. He beat Justin Rose, a veteran, 1-up on the 18th.
That must have sent a buzz through the place.
Massive energy. And then Scheffler, he finally got his point. Beat Rory McIlroy, Europe's leader, 1-up in a really tight match. A huge personal redemption and a big statement.
Okay, the big guns are firing.
And Xander Schauffele, too. He took down Jon Rahm, one of Europe's absolute rocks, 4-3, dominated him. You could just see the American individual talent shining through. The impossible was starting to feel possible.
But the match that really summed up the craziness, the absolute fear for Europe, was DeChambeau, wasn't it?
Oh, unbelievable theater. Sources said he was basically dead and buried. 5 holes down after just 7 against Matt Fitzpatrick. 5 down.
Wow. In singles, that's almost insurmountable.
Normally, yes, especially with the whole Ryder Cup potentially on the line. But somehow, DeChambeau just dug in. He won 3 of the last 5 holes, battled back, and managed to get a half point on the 18th green.
A draw. But it must have felt like a win for the U.S.
Absolutely. It kept the dream alive, kept the math just about possible.
So the gap closes right down. It's 13.5 to 10.5. And apparently at one point late on Sunday, Europe wasn't actually leading in any of the last few matches out there.
That's right. For a moment, the board showed no blue leads among the matches still playing. The U.S. comeback was terrifyingly real. They were playing incredible individual golf, ended up winning 8.5 points in singles, tying the record for a final day.
Europe still had that cushion. They just needed that half point to get to 14.
Exactly. And all that pressure, the weight of a continent, the history, it all landed on one guy's shoulders, Shane Lowry.
The Irishman. Battling rookie Russell Henley, all square coming to the 18th.
Everything on the line. A half point retains the cup for Europe. Henley played a great bunker shot, put the pressure on Lowry. Under that intense New York crowd noise, the pressure, Henley missed a short putt, a really short putt to win the hole in the match. He just pushed it slightly, the door creaked open.
And Lowry had a putt to seal it.
A 6-footer. For par. To have the hole, have the match, and guarantee the 14 points Europe needed. Think about that pressure. 6 feet for the Ryder Cup.
Did he make it?
He drained it. Center Cup. Pandemonium from the Europeans. That putt secured retention. The cup was staying in Europe.
Lowry's reaction must have been something.
Pure relief and exhaustion. He said later, "That was the hardest couple of hours in my whole life. Honestly, I can't believe that putt went in." That 6-footer was the moment the American dream died.
So that got them to 14. retention secured, but they needed another half point for the outright win.
Yep. And that came just moments later. Tyrrell Hatton, another solid European player, halved his match with Colin Morikawa. That pushed the score to 14.5, and eventually it finished 15-13, an outright win.
And it's interesting, isn't it? On Sunday, when the U.S. stars, like Scheffler and Schauffele, finally won, it was Europe's middle class, Omberg, Lowry, Hatton, who got them over the line.
It really showed their depth, didn't it? The whole system delivered. Even when their absolute top guys, McIlroy and Rahm, lost their singles matches, the rest of the team stepped up. So that final score, 15-13, it looks close on paper.
Deceptively close. It hides those first 2 days of total European control, building that huge lead and then that unbelievable record-tying American fight back on Sunday.
Absolutely. And the big takeaway, Luke Donald's captaincy, winning back-to-back, joining Tony Jacklin. That cements his legacy. And it confirms UP's blueprint. Use the team formats, build chemistry, get a big lead, and then hold on. That's how you win on hostile ground now.
So the final thought for everyone listening. Looking ahead to Adair Manor in Ireland in 2027, what does the U.S. leadership need to do differently?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do they build that genuine team feeling, that system, that camaraderie Europe has? Instead of just relying on having brilliant golfers who maybe play best when they're on their own, that seems to be the challenge.
You've been listening to Court and Gridiron Report, where we break down the stories and highlights shaping basketball and football. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.